Hey there, future electricians and circuit wizards. Ever wondered what goes on inside your electronics? Or how to fix a broken lamp? That's where the multimeter comes in. This handy-dandy tool is like having X-ray vision for your electronics, letting you measure electricity in all its forms. Think of electricity like water flowing through a pipe. Voltage is like the water pressure, current is like the amount of water flowing, and resistance is like the pipe's width. A multimeter lets you measure all of these things and more. With a multimeter you can troubleshoot circuits, test batteries, check for continuity, and so much more. It's an essential tool for anyone who wants to tinker with electronics, from beginners to seasoned pros. So, are you ready to unlock the secrets of electricity? Let's dive in. Before we start measuring, let's get familiar with the multimeter itself. Don't worry, it's not as complicated as it looks. First up, we have the display. This is where all the readings will show up, nice and clear. Think of it as the multimeter's TV screen. Next, we have the dial. This is the control center of the multimeter, allowing you to choose what you want to measure. It's like changing channels on your TV. Finally, we have the probes. These are the two wires that connect the multimeter to the circuit you're testing. One is usually red and the other black. Think of them as the multimeter's fingers reaching out to touch and measure the electricity. Now that you know the basic parts, let's move on to the fun stuff. Actually measuring things. Voltage, current, resistance. These are the three basic building blocks of electricity. And guess what? You can measure them all with your trusty multimeter. To measure voltage, set the dial to V for voltage, and choose AC or DC depending on the type of electricity you're dealing with. Then, touch the probes to the 2 points where you want to measure the voltage difference. It's like measuring the difference in water pressure between 2 points in a pipe. To measure current, set the dial to A, for amps, the unit of current. But here's the catch. You need to connect the multimeter in series with the circuit, meaning the electricity has to flow through the multimeter. Imagine cutting the pipe and inserting the multimeter to measure the water flow. To measure resistance, set the dial to ohmega, the symbol for ohms, the unit of resistance. Then, touch the probes to the two ends of the component you want to measure, like a resistor. It's like measuring how narrow the pipe is. Congratulations, you've mastered the basics of voltage, current, and resistance. But wait, there's more. Many multimeters come with extra features that can be super helpful. One such feature is continuity testing. This lets you check if a circuit is complete or broken. Set the dial to continuity mode, usually indicated by a sound wave or a diode symbol. Touch the probes to the two ends of the circuit, and listen for a beep. A beep means the circuit is complete, while silence means there's a break somewhere. It's like checking if the pipe is clogged or not. Another handy feature is diode testing. This lets you check if a diode, a one-way valve for electricity, is working properly. Set the dial to diode mode, connect the probes to the diode, and check the reading. A low reading in one direction and a high reading in the other direction means the diode is working correctly. It's like checking if the valve is letting water flow in only one direction.